You are.
Our first evaluator today is Kerry.
Hello, Toastmasters, and especially Kerry. It's a pleasure to evaluate your speech, and as always, you bring so much energy to your speaking that it really gets us all involved, and I won't talk much more about those aspects of it because your project was to research your topic. And one of your objectives was to collect information about the topic from numerous sources. During the course of your speech, I heard several sources mention the AARP, the Congressional Budget Office report, the consultant Gerard Miller, a number of different sources that you drew information from. And I certainly heard you were to support your points and opinions with specific facts, examples, and illustrations. And I heard a lot of facts. Some of them I didn't hear the sources for, so it left me wondering where they came from. For example, you started out with a couple of facts. Only 3% of Americans retire with the same income that they had when they were working, and 10,000 Americans every day turn 65. And I didn't hear sources for those, which didn't bother me a whole lot because they kind of illustrated the points to get the message across. But from AARP, you got the statistics about how many people work until they die, or plan to anyway. Those who live on Social Security income and how many claim Social Security early. You talked about the Congressional Budget Office talking about more benefits being paid out than are incoming. So there were a lot of facts and a lot of sources in there. A couple of things that I saw, though, as I got it, your main point was there's something we can do about it. And one of those things was we could set aside 15% of our income. And I think you really supported that point with the illustration of why Social Security is something that maybe you don't want to count on. You talked about how it was doomed from the start. It was budgeted for this many people, and all of a sudden they tripled how many people it was going to apply to. And so you talked a lot about that, and that's pretty much supported why we need to take it on our own and put money aside. Your second point, you said we could wait on collecting Social Security, and I think you kind of undermined that point by saying Social Security is falling apart. One might think maybe I better collect it now before it's gone. So I think you kind of didn't do a real strong supporting of that point, and I would like to hear a little bit more about how why we should do that. Said we should learn to live on less, and you gave an example of, the Starbucks coffee, how that would save you $1,000 a year. I thought that was very good to support that point. And then you talked about being debt-free, and you said that they can get 18% right now by getting rid of credit card debt. And to me, not losing 18% is different than getting 18%, so I would have liked to have seen that point supported a little bit differently as well. But overall, you did a great job of meeting your objectives. You obviously did a lot of research. You have the facts and the information to support it. I just would have liked to see a little stronger support of your points for the great speech. Thanks.